Welcome to This Endorian Life, a Star Wars podcast from the Radio Meanwhile Network. My name is Steve Rudd.
I'm Nick Gunning, and we're following the Ewoks from Return of the Jedi to the Ewok TV movies, the 80s cartoon, and beyond.
Today we are discussing Season 2, Episode 6A, Gone with the Mimphs, with special guest Hilary, the host of Previously on X-Men.
Hey, guys.
Welcome, Hilary.
Thanks.
She sounds cheery now, but after the last episode, she was like, I don't ever want to be on this podcast again.
Last time you guys did me dirty, but I came back. I came back. I'm going to give it another shot.
Okay. All right. If I remember right, the episode you were on last was particularly bad.
It had better have been.
It was really bad. I think we had you on one because it was one that featured one of the X-Men voice cast really prominently. Yeah. So it was like, we should have Hilary on. And then the episode was bad.
The 3 lessons. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Bad. That's right. Oh, that was a rough one. Yeah. Today I feel like is better. I felt pretty good about today's episode.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I do too. Too.
I had a good time. All right, so Hilary, let me take you through the cast and crew. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Okay. I just want to make sure your spirits are high.
Listen, I'm ready.
Okay.
I said I'm ready.
I heard you. I got to take what I can get. Today's episode was written by Linda Wolverton, new author here on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Directed by Dale Schott. This episode originally aired on October 18th, 1986, and was released on VHS as part of the compilation Wicket's Adventures. I guess he sort of has an adventure here.
Wicket is in it and does things.
He is in it. Yeah, that's true. So our featured member of the cast and crew today is Linda Wolverton. So this is her first time writing for this series, but it's also another pretty influential and noteworthy first here in the Star Wars world. So there's a sci-fi author named Lee Brackett who worked on an early draft of The Empire Strikes Back, and some of the things that were in her early draft made it all the way through. So that's a pretty early contribution there. Charmin Devona was credited for the teleplay on an episode of Droids, which was technically before this, but this episode marks the first time in Star Wars history where the episode or the movie or whatever was fully written by a female author.
The whole story.
Yeah.
The whole story.
That's right. Oh, wow. She is the sole credited author with teleplay, script, everything, just Linda Wolverton. This is the first episode that she does, but it gets wild, so hold on there. She writes one more later on in the series. The only thing she worked on prior to this was the show Popples. Do you guys remember Popples?
I love Popples.
Yeah. Do you remember those, Steve? They were like stuffed animals.
I do. I never saw the show, though. I didn't even know there was a show.
Were they a show first or a toy first?
I think they were a toy first because I didn't know there was a show either. I
knew about the show, but I never watched it.
Yeah. Anyway, she wrote one of those. Before that, she also would write for the Dennis the Menace animated series, Teen Wolf, and other series, but she hit it big when she wrote the screenplays for some Disney hits like Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King, the live-action Alice in Wonderland series, and the Maleficent film series.
Oh, wow. So she's made it.
Yeah.
Pretty prolific. Sure. I mean, I was going to joke like, like those small things like Beauty and the Beast. Like, okay.
Oh, whatever. Beauty and the Beast and the Lion King. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, those are two big. Those were big. What is that, like 94 and 95?
Yeah.
Like, those were huge movies.
Well, remember, Beauty and the Beast was nominated for Best Picture, not like Best Animated Picture. Best Picture.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Such a good movie. I love that. It's so beautiful in the music.
Yeah.
So good.
So this is someone who would go on to be, a prolific and like highly regarded screenwriter. And
she graced us with her her skill.
That's
Thank
right.
God, too. I mean,
yeah. Yeah, we needed a break. We needed a break from the Paul Dini.
Paul Dini. I'm so used to Paul Dini when it came across as Linda Wolverton. I was like, oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
I know. Let's go.
All right, you want to take us in with our uber detailed plot?
Yeah, let's go for it. Season 2, Episode 6A, Gone with the Mimphs. A pair of Ewoks standing guard at night are attacked by the Hanadak, a giant gorilla-like creature. They are swatted away like flies and run away to alert Chief Chirpa. The warriors of the village rally to capture the Hanadak. Wicket runs after them but is stopped by Chief Chirpa. His friends try to console him, but Wicket is too miffed to listen after being called a wackling. So he sets off on his own to find it.
Okay, now let me get some of your expert knowledge here.
Okay, yeah.
Is this something like, is Wicket wanting to be a hunter or a warrior? Is this like a theme?
Yes, he wants to be a warrior so bad, and the way you get to be a warrior is you have to fill up your belt of honor with trophies.
So this is something that has happened before.
This is like in the first episode of season 2, it was all like Wicket's going to get his belt of honor, and now it comes back.
All right. Carry on.
Yeah, so that is a thing.
He's working on it, like his badges. He's working on his Boy Scout.
Exactly.
Ewok Boy Scout.
Yes.
So he quickly finds the Hanadak sleeping in the forest. The Hanadak wakes up as Wicket tries to steal a tooth for his belt of honor. Wicket narrowly escapes in the river, and the Hanadak is furious, destroying Wicket's slingshot in anger. Falling down a waterfall, Wicket is knocked out and floats safely to a nearby shore. The rest of the group searches for Wicket. Latara is afraid the Hanadak may find them too, but Tebow created a magic Hanadak repellent, which was pretty bad because she said it's probably working.
Yeah.
They stumble upon a group of Kegels.
Mm-hmm.
They tell the Ewoks that Wicket battled the Hanadak and lost. Nisa doesn't believe Wicket is Hanadak meat, so they continue to search and are convinced he was killed when they find his destroyed sling. Meanwhile, Wicket wakes up, all tied up by tiny little creatures called Mimphs. Mimphs are small as mice, but look like bunnies. The Mimphs display Wicket like a show until the Hanadak appears and nearly kills some Mimphs before Wicket saves them. Wicket then leaps from a tree and blindfolds the Hanadak, leading him right to the river where he falls in and is washed over a huge waterfall. Wicket is sad he didn't get to grab a Hanadak tooth for his belt of honor, so the Mimphs offer one of their teeth. On his way back to the village, Wicket finds Tebow, Latara, and Nisa wailing over the suspected death of Wicket. Wicket waits till Latara admits he's the biggest, bravest warrior on Endor before he reveals himself. Wicket shamelessly asks Latara to repeat what she says and stubbornly does so. Roll credits.
The end. So, Hilary, how does this stack up against the 3 lessons?
I have blocked out the 3 lessons. The only thing I remember is how terrible it was.
Okay.
This was much better.
Yeah.
This I actually kind of, I enjoyed the story. There were moments of humor that I thought worked.
Yeah.
This was okay.
Yeah. This was, like a lot of second season episodes have been, this felt like, it's just a dumb cartoon from the 80s. It's harmless. It's not like making me angry or anything. It's just like a whatever. But I had a pretty good time with it.
Yeah.
I thought, Steve and I have kind of ragged it here and there because sometimes doing the 10-minute episodes versus the full 22, sometimes it feels like there's way too much crammed in.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it feels like it's just not suited for it. But I felt like this was a pretty good showcase for the 11-minute.
I did think it could have been possibly 5 minutes longer because normally shows like this, when there is a bad guy like that, he's angry or mad, but then you find out it's for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
And that
he stubbed his
character arc is
toe.
resolved, right?
Yeah.
So if it was just a little bit longer, I feel like that would have been a clever way to, I guess, extend the episode. They probably could have extended it the full thing.
Probably.
A full thing. Talked about actually, I think the Mimphs are coming up again, but they could have developed that character a little bit more and the whole Hanadak, so we wouldn't have been like, Hanadak's just kind of a jerk who he doesn't even really do it. He doesn't hurt anybody, really. He just kind of swats them away. And so I thought, well, that's really significant.
He's curmudgeon.
Yeah, he's a curmudgeon. So
then they go hunt him down.
Yeah, right? They're like, we're going to hunt him down.
There were a lot of different species introduced in this episode. In such a short turnaround, we had several. The Mimphs were new, the Hanadak was new, the awkwardly named Kegels.
I made Nick rewind it to make sure that it actually was Kegels and I hadn't misheard it. But no.
That could have been 100 other names.
Yeah. That's what they went with.
It was startling.
But no, there were a lot of creatures introduced, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like overall, I had a good time with it. I thought in the beginning where they're like, oh, it's the Hanadak, and he's just like, poof, poof, and just like completely swats them away. I thought that was kind of funny.
I liked when Wicket ties him up with the rope. First of
Oh,
all,
yeah.
I liked that he was sort of succeeding a little bit.
Yeah.
Like he was like, doing something
Yeah.
courageous.
Yeah.
And then I thought the animation was really good when the Hanadak just like stands up and yawns, because you could just see how little effort it took. Like
Yeah,
it was just
that's
he broke the ropes and he
Just
was done.
shreds
Yeah.
him. Just shreds
Yeah.
easily. Yeah.
I
Yep.
like that too.
And then he's like, uh-oh, like between his legs. That's so
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, and he had the slingshot was like hooked around the tooth. He was trying to get the tooth out, and so
Yeah.
like that falls and gets broken, which is, it's clever setup so the others can find it a little bit
Yeah.
later. And they don't just find the ropes, they find the broken slingshot, which, I thought that was cool. No gliders, but we got a little slingshot action,
Yeah.
so that was nice. I thought the Kegels were stupid.
Yeah, that was
Like, not just the name. I just thought, like, why? Like, why do we have them at all?
Yeah,
To
it
just
felt like they were gonna do something,
be a
but
part of
they
it
just
at
like
some
popped
point?
out of the bushes,
Yeah.
talked about Wicket, and that was it.
I think maybe because if they didn't have the Kegels, then they would have just assumed Wicket went downstream.
So they just
Yeah.
needed like a messenger.
They needed to be like, oh yeah, we saw the Hanadak and he like totally killed this little furry thing.
I just thought it was weird to introduce a new species just for that. Like, it wasn't something already in play.
Yes.
I did like the Gulliver's Travels vibe. He goes from like tangling with the big guy, and then obvious when he's like laying down and he's all
Mhm.
tied up and they're climbing on
Yes.
him. And even when he's on display and stuff, there was a lot of really clear allusions to Gulliver's Travels, going from big to small, and then kind of befriending the smaller ones.
Yeah.
So
Does that kind of thing happen in the show usually?
No.
No.
Why was it called Gone with the Mimphs? Like a play on Gone with the Wind. It wasn't like Wicket's Travels or something
Right?
like that,
Oh,
which would
yeah.
have made sense. It was Gone with the Mimphs. And he also, I guess he was technically gone
With the
with the
Mimphs,
Mimphs.
yeah.
So, it is truthful. But
It's funny though that he did escape the big creature, but couldn't escape the small
Yeah.
ones.
true.
Mhm.
You know,
And I also-
I
I
guess
liked-
he did, right? Did he undo himself? He must have.
Did he?
I think he did.
I don't.
I think
Or
he
did
undid
they-
himself or something
I
like
feel like they undid him so that he could help them.
That's right, because the guy
Right.
came
yeah.
and was attacking
right.
them.
That's right, because the Hanadak. Yeah, okay. That's
Yeah,
what
he
did.
needed the help. I like that the Memph offered one of their tiny little teeth for his belt. I thought that was cute.
Yeah,
It
that
was cute.
So
and I
great.
like that it was just a tooth that he had lost. It was like, oh yeah, Steve lost his tooth
Yeah, right. Yeah.
last week. Here, you can
Yeah.
have it.
Yeah.
No,
That
it
was
was
funny.
during that battle. It was during the battle with the Hanadak.
Oh, was it? He lost it because of the. Oh, I missed that.
They're like, Fred lost it. You can have Fred's tooth. He lost it when battling the Hanadak. and he was like, "Ding,"
That's funny.
Oh.
that was so. I thought that was funny. Like,
Yep.
and they're all like, like whispering about it, like it was this big thing. And I was like, oh, what's it gonna be? It's a tiny little speck.
Did he put
Yeah.
it on his belt?
I
He
wondered that
accepted it,
too.
but did he put it on his belt?
Yeah, I don't know.
He better not have. It's another weird trophy. Hilary, you missed an episode where he was just like, yeah, I saved the day, but like the creature flew into something and then
Right.
fell down, and then everything fell on top of it. So
Yeah.
it's like it wasn't even him
Yeah,
who did
right.
it. It just was a
And there was
mistake.
the time when he just found one of the scales and was like, "Oh, a scale for my belt of honor," and it's like, "My dude, that's not how it works."
That's not how it works.
You have to
can't
earn
just
it.
find
Yeah.
random. Yeah, like, oh yeah. Well, did you defeat it? No, I found it. Like,
Yeah, you found it.
What? Come on, man.
Finders keepers, no problem. Steve, what was your Ichiwawa moment?
So, my Ichiwawa moment was one of two things. I thought both having to do with the Mimphs. I think just the Mimphs in general, really, I thought were really, really fun.
Okay.
But when the Mimphs, they're like, do something. And he's like, oh, Kavark. And they're like, he said Kavark. What is that? Kavark? Kavark. Kavark. Kavark.
Oh,
And
yeah,
they're all,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
repeating it. And it's like, that's like their F word. I just thought that was
You're
so
right.
good.
They just,
Like,
they just
they're
adopted it.
and they have no idea. Yeah, and then the Mimph tooth, I thought was just like that was just so funny. Like, you
Yeah.
can have one of ours, and it's just he's like, thanks, and it's just the tiny to
the
the
teeniest,
Ewok, it's
tiniest.
a tiny thing. Yeah, it's like a tic tac.
Right.
That was great.
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh, I mean, I guess I got to give it to the Gulliver's Travel stuff. I mean, I didn't, when it was the Hanadak, I didn't think about it. But when he wakes up tied up, I thought, and as it kept going and they did more and more allusions to it, I thought that was pretty cool. So, even though that is atypical, like they're not doing other literary adaptations, I thought that was kind of a cool part. Hilary, anything reach levels of Ichiwawa for you?
I guess I mean, the only thing that keeps coming back is that, what's it called? Hanadak.
Oh, the Hanadak.
The Hanadak breaking the ropes. I just love that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. When he stands up in no effort, he doesn't even realize he's tied up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
He does it so easily that the ropes were like feathers coming down too. Like that's how much he shredded them just so easily, and they're just like flowing down. You're like, well, dang, man, this guy's strong.
Yeah. What about your Oak of Arc moment, Steve?
You know, the Kegels. Because literally just, and then there was 3 of them, and they didn't even do a good job of like showing if they had done something like a random creature walking in the forest and all of a sudden, whoa, being there when the Hanadak is fighting Wicket, that would have been one thing, right? Because then the creature would have been like, and then jumped into a bush, and then the other walklings find him and he jumps out of that same bush. Would have literally just added 13 seconds maybe to the episode, and I think that would have been better than 3 random Kegels just jumping out and being like, hello, and they're like, oh, the Kegels, and we're like, I have no idea who that is. We're supposed to like assume that we know.
That's a good point, and they so often do the thing where they have an establishing shot with an animal, and then it goes into the scene. So they could have just done that. They could have just showed something was there. So I think that was probably mine. Hilary, what about you? Was there a part that you just hated?
I don't think there was anything I really hated.
Okay.
When they first, it's funny that the Gulliver's Travels bit was with the Mimphs was your favorite.
Yeah.
Because I would say that's probably the lowest because I just sort of started drifting there. I didn't care so much, I guess. Okay. And then like action started happening again and I was back in. Okay. So I guess it would be that.
Not a fan. Okay.
That makes sense to me. That's like a
I think for my Oak of Arc moment probably would just be, again, like Wicket, in the beginning where he's just like, you know what, I'm going to go after this Hanadak. And just like charges in, no plan or whatever. And then just like defeated soundly. Just because, as you know, I've always liked Ewoks and I've always liked Wicket. And he's cool in Return of the Jedi. And he's just like so dopey in season 2. So I didn't like his dopiness in this episode.
I liked that he really went for it, though.
I guess that's true. Like, I mean, he wasn't cowardly.
I figured he would just be sort of like bragging and like I'm gonna go do the thing, but not really go do the thing. But he goes and does the thing. Yeah, like it's too strong for him. He goes.
He actually does. Yeah,
which is, I guess, atypical. He doesn't usually charge in. Okay, fine. Maybe that was fine. Then the Kegels. I hate those dumb Kegels. How about that? I wouldn't say there's an obvious moral or lesson here. It seems like this is just kind of a goofy, fun one. I don't
appreciate your friends because they might die violently.
There you go. We have so little time on this earth. You never know when a Hanadak might kill you.
It's so done to death where somebody's suspected to be dead and they're like, I would have told them I love them. And they're like, what did you say? From the bush. And it's just like, come on, man. Like,
I don't.
Oh, I shouldn't say that because this is 1986. So basically, everything after that's done it to death.
True.
So this,
they're on the ground floor.
Maybe they did it first.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, Hilary. How many Yub Nubs are we going to give this one, Hilary? Out of 5 Yub Nubs.
7.
No, Hilary,
definitely not.
I said out of 5.
I don't live by your rules.
Okay. I mean, compared to the 3 lessons, probably it's a 7
out of 5.
I think I would go like 3.5 here. I had a good time. It was kind of whatever. That was decent. What about you, Steve?
I would give it a 4. I think this is one of the first times I've given a higher rating than Nick.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey.
I just thought it was good.
Did it for you.
I was just like, I feel like it's ending, and then it ended, and I was just like, I really wanted like a couple more minutes of that episode. That was good, I just thought it was fun.
I didn't. That is a good point. What you said about like sort of having the Hanadak come back around. That is kind of a trope of that era. So yeah, I guess in hindsight that is interesting.
Just a few more minutes. That's all we needed. Like all of them to get back together, and they're like, and then the Hanadak randomly comes out again, and they're like, oh, him again, and it's like, oh, he's got a thorn in his foot.
Yeah, exactly.
That's totally Ewoks. Like, we just need to remove his thorn.
His wife left him.
Yeah. It's so true, though. It's so true. I just still remember Hilary saying 7.
Yeah, she did. Yeah,
I did.
She did.
I'm standing by it.
Just bold.
You know what? I love this show now.
Do you really? Wow. We have our
turned me around.
Oh, you can be on the next episode then. You ready?
I'm going to be an Ewoks apologist from now on.
I hear She's a permanent third guest host right here, Hilary. You got to watch it.
Yep.
She'd really need to go back and watch all the episodes. I think.
She should, yeah.
You're talking me out of it. You're talking me out of it.
Well, you can skip the 3 lessons.
Yeah, you can skip because you saw that one. Hilary, thanks for coming back.
You're welcome.
Thanks for talking about what's going on over on Previously on X-Men.
Over there, we're going to be doing, we're going through the animated series of X-Men from the 90s. And we are doing Long Shot and Cold Comfort.
Okay.
Long Shot is an episode with Mojo.
Ooh.
I don't love Mojo.
I know. I remember.
Cold Comfort has Iceman.
Yes, and I'm a big Iceman fan, and I've never seen this episode.
Yeah.
It's the only time.
That'll be fun. We'll have a good chat.
Okay. All right. So, you can follow Hilary elsewhere on the network over on Previously on X-Men. We'll be back next time with Season 2, Episode 6B, The First Apprentice.
Ooh.
Steve, also...
Are there other apprentices?
I don't know.
Apprentices?
I know that there's a Last Jedi, but maybe this is
the
first apprentice.
Would that be Tebow? I mean, can I guess that that's probably an episode about Tebow?
Okay, let's lock it in.
But isn't he already an apprentice? I mean, come on.
Maybe we're gonna learn. But Logray has some dark past of training walklings in the dark arts, and they've all died or something.
Ooh, if
and he
only.
Comes back. Well, Logray, today is my day of reckoning. I'm the first apprentice.
It's Morag,
actually. Morag. Yeah. Yeah.
Tebow's like, yay, I'm the first apprentice. And he just comes out of nowhere. No, I am the first apprentice.
I would be very much here for that. So
I know, right?
I guess we'll have to find out next time. We'll see everybody then.
Yes. I can't wait. Thank you, Hilary, for joining us. That was great.
Yeah, see ya.
This Endorian Life was brought to you by the Radio Meanwhile Network. Other shows on the network include 90s Music Got Me Like, Previously on X-Men, and 9021 Here We Go. Share your thoughts on this and upcoming episodes by following us on Facebook or Twitter at Endorian Life. And please rate, subscribe, and share the show wherever you get your podcasts.